This?
Yeah, you can start it.
All right. Yeah, I'll go live like this. Right here. How about that?
All right.
Tag me on video. That works.
Yeah.
All right. Let people start trickling in. How cool you didn't get my drink in there. All right. What's up, guys? Oh, yeah, now you did. Look at you go. All right, we're good.
Yeah. There we go. All right.
Let's get this closed. What is this, episode 4?
Yeah. I'm going to set it off.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to get my thing going.
All right, guys. Welcome to episode 4 of Hard Work, Bad Decisions. The good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about it. Today, me and my homie, aka my associate, aka my co-host, aka my road dog, we're actually going to talk about life lessons that you learn from doing business. Last week, we touched upon failure and why failure is a good thing. The secret ingredient to success is failure. Now we're going to talk about this week on things you could actually learn, positive and negative, from actually doing business. And I think these lessons, it could resonate not just in a business atmosphere, but in your personal life, as a parent, dating, just you as a person, because these lessons, I really think you could just go all over in your life. So we're just going to talk about it. We can go back and forth. We're going to do the whole list. I do my top 3. He's going to do his top 3. I'm going to do one, then he's going to do one, and we're going to build it up. And
I want to point it out, though, that you wrote yours down.
I did write it down because I have a tendency to forget. Okay. So I'm trying to be a little bit organized. Each time I do this, I want to get a little better at this. We still haven't figured out the technical aspect of things.
Yeah, I had my... Okay, I'll show you guys. And for those of you listening to the podcast, sorry you don't get to see this. But this is supposed to hold my smartphone, and it's supposed to be like a little gimbal. So if you move it, it keeps it still. And it ran out of batteries because I'm awesome and didn't charge it.
Yeah.
So there's a bad decision right there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he put the hard work in, but he made a bad decision, which is pretty typical, right? Man, I think we're just gonna jump right into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this kind of leans it up to where like you're gonna go over your top 3, and it'll just naturally lead into every other discussion.
Yeah, exactly. And well, I want to go back and forth with you because.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one. You're gonna do one.
Yeah.
And let's see if we actually pick the same thing. So I'm gonna start off with my first one. Okay, my first one is patience and perseverance. And the reason why I picked those two things, because when you're doing business, you have to be patient and understand not everything is going to happen as quick as you want it. And then just what we talked about last week, but you are dealing with failures. Sometimes as you're doing business, things is not going to go the way you wanted to go. It's going to go to the opposite. And you got to have to have the patience to be able to learn from your mistakes and grow from it. And that perseverance to keep going, to be consistent, to not give up. A lot of times you get into business or any type of relationship or whatever case may be, when things get tough, the first thing people want to do is just quit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I tell you what, anything that's worth it is going to require a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. So I think patience and perseverance is my top one, man.
Well, and on top of that, I'll add to that. There's just, there are situations, though, where you can beat your head against a wall. And here's an example for business. If you're somebody who's sitting there going, I want to start a business, but you have yet to make money and you're 6 months in, that might be a clear sign that you just made a bad decision.
True. Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between patience and then craziness.
Well, actually, I say this in grappling a lot. as you're going for a submission and it's not there. So you just squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and the guy just looking at you and you just burn out your arms.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Kenny Rogers said, you gotta know when to hold on. Know when to fold on.
Serenade it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. See, people don't think I know Kenny Rogers, you know, so I shocked the world.
What is that? Is it because you're black?
Yeah, because I'm black. I listen to country music. I know Kenny Rogers. Say it again. You know when to hold on.
Know when to fold on.
Man, I'm telling you, we should take this on the road, bro.
Yeah. It's a road show.
Yeah, but you're right about that. I mean, you got to have patience, perseverance, the ability to keep driving, but you got to also know when it's just not working.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't be stupid. But the problem I have is that you get people that jump into something. It could be jumping into a business. It could be coming to class, trying out jujitsu or kickboxing.
What about jumping into a relationship?
You know what the thing about relationship? Okay, now you mention that. People are so ready to quit. Man, you know, back in the day, you got married. You was married for life. You will find a way to work it out. You will find a way to go through the bad times and work it out. You know, but now people, they get married, they get divorced, they get married, they get divorced. It happens so quick. And nobody's willing to put in the extra work, do the counseling, be a little bit humble, say I'm sorry. People just willing to stick to their guns. Like, you know what? I'm not changing. I don't care. I'm moving on to the next.
On that subject, though, I feel like, and I've heard this, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but from what I've heard and what I understand of it is there's a big difference between long-term love and that, like, flash in the pan, I have affection for you.
Well, I mean, you have love and you have lust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Then there's a big difference between those two.
Yeah. I mean, not every relationship is going to last. I understand that. But when you find someone that you know is right for you, people have the tendency to, like, not have the patience to get to know the person. If the person is making a mistake, work with them. Tell them the things. Actually, me and my girlfriend, we talked about this on Sunday, which is the 5 things, that turns us off while dating. And that comes with communication. But to communicate, you have to have the patience to be able to verbalize your wants and desires and also to listen. And that takes a lot of patience.
And if you guys have anything to add into this while we're sitting here chatting, I'm looking over at the screen every once in a while. So if you have anything to add to what we're talking about, go for it.
Yeah, if you think I'm wrong, be quiet.
But I want to move back to I think that, because I want to play your devil's advocate on this, but there are some points that I'm just going to agree with you completely on. And perseverance is just, you got to have it. If you're going to do any type of long-term success, no matter what the field is, whether it's relationships, in business, in martial arts, there is a big thing in having delayed gratification and pushing through hard times.
You're right, because people want what? Instant gratification.
Oh, yeah.
They want it now. They want success now. They want to be happy now. They don't want to deal with the bad.
Best life now.
Exactly. So, this goes into, like, if I can put it into a fight, use that as an analogy.
Yeah.
It's like going through the first round. You step into the first round and you getting your butt whooped. You're looking at your opponent and you're like, man, this dude is on another level. At that moment, you have a couple options. You could either quit and say, I'm not ready for this. And sometimes you may have to do that. Okay? Nobody wants to, take that total damage.
Yep.
Or dig deep and find a way to win. And sometimes it's going to take you to take a couple punches to give a couple punches. Okay? But when you withstand that initial storm, you may be surprised at your success.
Rachel says, I want to be a ninja now.
It's so funny because her and I, we had a long conversation last night.
Okay.
She did a jiu-jitsu class, and she was having a hard time grasping some of the concepts. And Rachel, she's like one of the, it seems to be like, she felt out of her element.
Yeah.
And me and her was talking, and it's so hard because, she's my girlfriend. It's like training my son, my kids. I want them to be great.
Yeah.
I like, in my mind, I'm thinking you coming from my blood.
Yeah.
You dating me. Like, you should automatically be great at this.
Yeah. It should just bleed over into you.
Yeah. And it wasn't like that, but she had the right attitude, which is she needs to come in here, she needs to practice, she needs to work on some of the stuff, and sometimes on her own accord. Not with me supervising. No, I'm there to answer any questions or to help her. It's like, she sometimes needs to step back and practice on her own so she could drill these techniques because it's so foreign to her.
Yeah.
Because I've never dealt with someone like her. And when I mean that, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. She's probably watching, but we talked about this and we both agreed. Most people come into the gym with a thought process, especially those that want to grapple and do jiu-jitsu. Yeah. They come into with an already passion to want to do it.
Yeah.
That wasn't her. She literally started doing it because of me. She had no idea what grappling was. Like, no idea. She may have watched a couple of fights, but she didn't understand. Like, she asked the question, like, can I punch in grappling? Like, no, there's no punching in grappling. In my mind, that's common sense.
Yeah.
But to her, she's so new to this. She's ground zero for real.
Yep.
She didn't even know that you can't punch in grappling, in jiu-jitsu, and wrestling. So for her, she had no concept. So when I'm talking about things to her, somebody that's not a true fan of jiu-jitsu or even really MMA, so to speak, she like MMA, but she don't go out her way to go watch it. Mm-hmm. So someone that's not a true fan, and I'm explaining concepts, is so foreign to her.
Yeah, it is like teaching a little baby from the ground up.
Exactly, and like I've never really dealt with that before because most people that come into the gym that sign up, they already know what it is for the most part.
Yeah, they have an understanding.
Exactly, yeah. They just want to learn and actually get the techniques down, and get conditioned and get in shape. So she definitely yesterday I learned some patience.
She says, "I'm unique. What can I say?"
Yeah, she's definitely unique. But I tell you what, just like I said earlier. She wants to come in here. She don't want to quit. She want to come in here, practice some of the stuff on her own, or sometimes I come help her. But she's willing to keep going, persevering. Mm-hmm. Okay,
practicing patience.
Yeah, practicing. Yeah, exactly. And drill. Drillers make killers.
Now, just on a personal note, does it make it weird that like you're her coach, but you're also her boyfriend? And so does that get weird sometimes?
No, it's like I know some. I know sometimes that I have to watch my wording because the whole like you can be sleeping on the couch, no loving for you, if I like, come on, you can't get this.
Can't talk to her like one of your boys.
Yeah, exactly. God, this is so easy. You can't get this.
You're so stupid.
Yeah. Like next, I'm sleeping alone for a couple of days. Yeah. So I have to, but once again, she's actually teaching me how to deal with someone that's so new. Mm-hmm. And I've been teaching. I've had Victory MMA since January of 2009. And I've never came across someone like that, which is surprising. And I've been in one world. I've been in different gyms. I trained under different coaches. I've never been around someone that didn't understand anything about jiu-jitsu. And they trying it. So I'm learning a whole new concept of teaching in patience.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is let's move on to number 2.
Your turn.
Okay. So the topic for today is delayed gratification. And I think on the opposite side of that, where you have patience, is there are times when it makes sense to move extremely fast.
Okay.
Speed is sexy in some regards.
Yes.
But I think I'd asterisk that to a not so sexy phrase, which speed is sexy, asterisk with some caution. Doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Yeah. I mean,
so
sometimes fast is good, and sometimes it's not so good. If you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. But you know what? That's so funny you said that because it kind of goes into my second one. I feel like I just want to bring it out.
Go ahead.
Being fearless and going big. It kind of like sometimes I think all of them you could put all those three. Being fearless, going big, and working on speed, could all go into the same category. Yeah. Because if you know what you want, go get it. Mm-hmm. Do not wait for tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. We watched the movie with Rocky, and Rocky 3, when Rocky was training with Apollo Creed, right? He was having a hard time, and he was like, tomorrow I do better. And Apollo Creed was like, there is no tomorrow. It's right now, man. Because when you put things off for tomorrow, I always say that a lot of times people say later, later, later. Later turns into never.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's
easy to make excuses through that part, like, oh, it's been like 4 days, I shouldn't just go back.
Yeah, so go do it right now. I get people to come to the gym and they want to say, they just asking questions about the program, about the gym, and I break it down, explain to them, and I say, hey, you want to try it out, sign up, whatever, and they be like, oh, in a couple weeks I'll come back. I say, man, what are you waiting for? Because when you put it off, you know what happens? Life happens. Okay? Something comes up to stop you from doing the things you want to do. It always happens. If you're here right now, go do it, bro. Let's, don't hold nothing off. Don't put nothing off. Go do it. So with that same concept, you got to have a sense of fearlessness.
Yep.
Okay? You can't be timid. You can't be scared. You gotta have, like, I need to get it done now. And I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go big. Mm-hmm. Because when you kind of timid, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities because you're scared. You're sticking your toe in. Yep. Sometimes, man, you just got to jump in the deep end. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And let's go even further micro than that. Like macro, it is a great thing to go big and jump into it. But then also in the micro, make sure that you're reassessing constantly where you're at.
Yeah.
And going back to speed is sexy, in the micro, speed is exceptionally sexy.
Yeah.
And to bring an example of that is when you call a place and you're trying to get a service, or if you are trying to get a response from somebody, when do you want it? You want it right now.
Yeah.
Because we live in
I want it yesterday.
Yeah. That's right. Should have been in my head.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So you can't read minds, bro?
No, right.
Yeah.
But if you're in business and you run a business, the faster you get something done, the more you're going to create a big name for yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to do something big, make sure that you're making moves, whether it's in business or if it's in the gym or whatever. I think it works more for business is go big, but make sure that throughout the entire way you're reassessing everything based on where you want to be. Because when you jump into a business, you want to make sure your values are right. You want to make sure that you have an end goal in mind. Like, why are you even starting this? What's the objective here? And then you calculate every move against that objective.
Yeah, because I think people are going to misunderstand when you say speed to rushing it.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about rushing it. We just talking about being proactive. Mm-hmm. Going to get it, not waiting. Don't procrastinate. Mm-hmm. And when you put that work in, you put that work in with everything you have. It's like, because I could come and I could start a project. But I'm taking it step by step. And yes, I could be cautious. So some people say taking it step by step, taking it slow. There's some meat to that, right? But the fact is that if I know what I want, if I know how to get it, I'm going to go get it, man.
Yep.
I'm just going to go get it.
And even if you don't know the certain skills, you're going to go figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes, opportunity waits for no one. Mm-hmm. As you wait in for the perfect opportunity, it's like a fighter. He's in a ring or cage, and he got his hands up, and he got this power. He got this knockout punch, and he's looking for the perfect opportunity to throw that punch. Mm-hmm. The problem is his opponent never gives him the perfect opportunity.
So what's he gonna do?
Yeah, so he's waiting. And I'm screaming. I've been in this situation as a coach, as a trainer, as a cornerman. I've been in this situation. I'm screaming, go, go, go! Let your hands go! Let your hands go! Go, go, go! And the person, for some reason, is just waiting for this perfect opportunity that may or may not ever present itself. Sometimes you have to go create the opportunity. Mm-hmm. You got to go seek out the opportunity. You got to go make it happen. You got to get off your butt and do that work.
Yeah, change direction.
Oh, yeah.
Throw them off balance, whatever, right?
Just creating opportunities, brother. Yeah. But the fact that if you have a sense of urgency, and that's what you're talking about, I believe, right?
Yeah.
The sense of urgency is gonna feel that hunger.
Yeah.
Okay. No matter what you do, either it's being, like you said, business, training, relationships, being a parent, or whatever venture you have going on in your life. If you have a sense of urgency, you're gonna get it done. If you want to get it done, you're gonna go get it done, and you're gonna do it in a timely manner, and not just keep putting things off and waiting.
And that's where there's this huge balance. So if you guys are listening, if you guys got anything to weigh in on this, or you guys got some lessons that you've learned over time that pertain to business or maybe even life, but go and put them in the comment section. But one of the things, man, is there's that balance between being delayed, having delayed gratification, being patient, and also having a sense of urgency about anything you actually decide to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Because in that there's a balance there, because if you're trying to learn a new skill, it might take you a couple of years to actually become a master at that skill.
Yeah.
It's not going to come tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you have to act with a sense of urgency every day in making sure that delayed gratification, you're making big actions on.
Well, I tell you, the perfect example to what you're talking about, speed, is this podcast. Okay, I started out with just the idea, right?
Yeah.
And yes, I could have waited to the perfect scenario. I could have waited till I fully understand all the websites and the apps and all the technical equipment and how to do graphic design. I was like, no, man, I want to get this thing done. I want to start on this day, and I'm going to do it. And now we chipping away. I got some of the equipment. I'm starting to learn as we go. Some of the software, you teaching me some things, I'm learning things going online, and each week I'm getting smarter and better. Now I could have waited 6 months so I have a perfect understanding of everything, and I feel like I just would have wasted a lot of good opportunities to start this podcast. And then when I do want to start it, something happens and I can't do it no more for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm gonna start right now, man, and we're gonna learn on the fly. We're gonna make it happen, make it do what it do.
Yeah, it's not polished, it's not perfect, but it works.
Yeah, it works, man. It works. We can get it done.
Yeah. Well, and so going back to that, so there is a big thing, a lot of lessons that you learn over running the business, right? So
Yeah.
podcast is a great example of starting something early before it's even ready.
Yeah.
Honestly, because you're just starting it and you're going to figure it out as it goes along. And that's actually, I think most people can actually relate to that a lot.
Yeah.
Because most people, I take like videography. If I look at the videos that I produced when I first started actually shooting video and producing video, I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed by this. This is retarded.
Yeah.
Like, everything about this is wrong. Composition, lighting, focus, everything's bad. Like, I recorded it terribly. But if you look at the stuff that we produced lately, you're like, wow, that's like night and day difference.
Yeah, you get better.
You
experience.
You got to start somewhere and start doing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, sometimes you just got to bite down on your mouthpiece and go fight.
Yeah.
And then, and a lot of times you just learn by trial by fire, and you may get burned, but if you have the patience and perseverance, in the sense of urgency, I promise, man, you're gonna come out successful.
Yeah, and make sure that you're taking calculated risks on this.
Yeah,
because if you're listening to our advice, I mean, it's easy to get motivated and go, I'm gonna go start that business tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you sink $30,000 in without an idea of what you're doing.
Well, I tell you what. When I came back from Iraq and I was working as a civilian contractor and I made a lot of money, I was making good 6 figures, and most of that was tax free. I wanted to open up a gym, right? And I wanted to start big. And I was having this idea, I'm gonna rent out the space, I'm gonna buy equipment, I'm gonna buy a cage. And I started looking at the numbers and I was like, man, what I'm going to do is send myself broke. Okay? But what I'm not gonna do is sit on my butt and just keep saying what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I started small. I actually ran into a friend, my old capoeira instructor, Mago, and he said, hey, you can rent out space here. Okay? And the space was small. It was a dance studio. We had to put down mats, pick up mats. But what I did do, I started teaching. I had 3 students. 1 student, 2 students, 3 students. Okay? It wasn't big, but it didn't cost me a lot either. Mm-hmm. Okay? And what that did, it gave me the opportunity to practice and to grow and not go completely broke and have a lot of regret.
Yeah.
And now I have my own gym with 6,000 square feet gym with over 150 something members.
Yep.
Okay. So I jumped on it. I was like, I want to do it. I had the know-how. I had the skill set. I had the drive. Boom, make it happen. I just wanted to find the right opportunity, and when I found it, I jumped on it. And I didn't. Like you said, I made a calculated risk.
Yep. Yolanda, that's good lesson there. Leap. That's right.
Yeah. Leap.
Actually, so there was an episode of another podcast I listened to called Startup.
Yeah.
And there was an episode that the guy was he went to prison. He was a convicted felon. Mm-hmm. Got out, couldn't find work.
Yeah.
But he knew he liked going to the gym and teaching people how to go to the gym. So how did he start? He started by getting friends and family and all that to come to the park
I knew you was gonna say that.
Yeah, and he taught him body weight fitness type stuff.
Yeah.
Created all this hype, and people would come up and go, "What's going on here?" He's like, "This is the best class ever. Come on in, blah blah blah. It's $50 a month."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why don't you do it in the gym?" It's like, "Cause the park, man, you get free air, fresh breath." Like, he made up all this stuff, made it sound amazing.
Yeah, he sold it.
Yeah, he started somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he eventually got a gym and all that. Yeah, that's a coming up story.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always say, if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a way, there's an A. Hooked on Phonics will work for me, could work for you. Okay? But if you go back to the first statement, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yep.
Okay? If you have a sense of urgency, if you have the perseverance and the patience, you can make it happen.
Yep.
And then which goes into this, my second one, is being fearless and going big. Okay? Mm-hmm. And as we talked about it earlier, let's break that down a little bit deeper. Like, it's so scary to go into business. Yeah. It's so scary, especially when you invest in your own money. Or even if you're using somebody else's money, like a loan or whatever, you are afraid of your future and what that can cost you in the long run. And if you let that fear, hold you down, you're never going to be successful. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, as like I said earlier, you have to bite down on your mouthpiece and go fight. Mm-hmm. Fight for what you want. Fight for what you think you deserve. And just grind. And what I mean by going big is that sometimes, like, I know I said that I started my gym, my studio really, really small, which was the perfect time to do that. Mm-hmm. But then when I got this gym and I had some money in my pocket, I got the space, I had my partner, Carlos, I had a couple of students, the vibe was there. Now it's time to build the momentum. Mm-hmm. It's time to go big, man. Yep. We're going to go get that cage. Yep. We're going to go get some brand new equipment. We're going to go get, buy some t-shirts and start marketing really big. Yep. It's time now to invest. Okay. We played it small. We played it safe and we got to a certain point, but playing it safe the whole time is always going to keep us at the low end. Yep. Okay. We know the business now. Okay. We know the business. We learned from the mistakes. Now it's time to go big. And I jumped all in. I fought a couple of big fights, UFC, Bellator, made some decent money. And I was like, I looked at my bank account. I said, well, I got a couple of dollars. What am I going to do? Am I just going to keep it in the bank and let the bank make money off of it? Mm-hmm. Or am I going to invest it into myself, invest it into this business and buy the equipment and things that I need that I believe is going to take this gym to the next level? Mm-hmm. I went big, man.
Yep. And then on that next note, the follow-up to that is never be romantic about decisions that you make in business. Yeah. Because they can come back to haunt you. Yeah. And what that means, I'll give you an example from my life recently, is so I owned a creative agency here in town that last year we did $350,000.
And that's how I met you.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah.
But we did $350 our first year out.
Yeah.
But because of relationships and a partnership that just wasn't working out. Yeah. I had to make that tough decision, being fearless, that I had to end it.
Yeah.
I had to walk away. Mm-hmm. and restart and reboot into a healthier environment. Yeah. And we talk about hard decisions, man. Uh-oh. Is our live video still going?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about hard decisions, though. You walk away from a company that's surpassed most people's odds and was actually succeeding fairly well, and to walk away from that completely.
That's fearless.
Disrupt it. Yeah, because you knew in your heart that it wasn't going right.
Well, sometimes you see a sinking ship and people want to stay on the ship regardless and just feel like it's going to turn around. And that's what I said, man, earlier. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, bro. I Live and Die by Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers, the homie.
Oh, you got to sing it again for everybody.
You got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. I'm taking this on the road. I'm telling you, I got skills. But
why are you fighting, man? You should be singing.
I know. But yeah, man. But you do have to know when to fold them. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that takes a lot of heart because you're thinking to yourself how much you sacrifice to build this up, just to walk away.
Yeah, that was a recurring thing. They're like, "You sure you want to give up a year's worth of effort and work?" And I'm like, "If it's the right thing at the end game, then yeah."
How many people did that? Perfect example, Dr. Dre. Okay, Dr. Dre walked away from Death Row, and then he made Aftermath.
Yeah.
Think about how successful Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, at one point, was the first rap billionaire.
Yeah.
When he sold the Beats to Apple. Could you believe a rapper from Compton, a gangster rapper from Compton becoming a billionaire? At least, I don't think he was a billionaire, but the company he helped create brought in revenue equating to a billionaire to $1 billion. In other words, he probably didn't take home $1 billion. I think he took home about 400 to 500 million.
No, no big deal.
Yeah, right. But the fact is, his product that he produced, brought in revenue of $1 billion.
Yeah,
and that only happened when he walked away from Death Row, because he saw Death Row going a direction that he didn't want to be a part of.
Yep.
And he was like, "You know what? I'm leaving." He's like, "Suge Knight, you can have all the royalties, all the licenses, all the songs. I don't care. I'm gonna start over." And then he started over, and his first album he came out with was a complete flop. Complete flop.
Which one was it?
It was a song "Been There, Done That." You got guns, I got straps. It was something like that, right? And it was like everybody was like, "Yo, that's whack." that was whack. He even started working with some East Coast guys, being he's from Cali, West Coast. He actually produced the album with Nas and Foxy Brown, called The Firm, and that also flopped.
Well, and then he eventually found Eminem.
Yes, but could you imagine his thought process? I'm about to walk away from one of the top producing record labels that I helped create. Walk completely away, like Suge Knight didn't give anything. Like, if you leave, you're leaving with zero. Okay, so he walked away with just the cash he had in his pocket to start his own thing called Aftermath, and everybody's like, "After what?" Okay, and then
physics.
Yeah, exactly. And then the first couple albums he dropped was horrible, was flops.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, the perseverance and patience he demonstrated. It's inspiring.
Yeah, I remember seeing a documentary on YouTube about that whole thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they actually did a special on HBO about him, and listen to his story. It's very inspiring, because then he found Eminem. That obviously blew up, and then he dropped his album, blew up, and then everybody he touched after that blew up, and then he bought what he created or helped create, the Dre Beats, and that blew up, and now he's just sitting pretty.
Yep.
And then Death Row and Suge Knight, where they at?
Yeah,
bankrupt. Yeah, exactly.
I think Suge Knight's in jail, isn't he?
He may be in jail for murder. He may be in jail for murder. So being fearless, going big, or go home.
Yep.
That's a very important concept. So that's number 2 for me. You gave 1. What's your number 2?
Actually, I think I went over my number 2 in an offbeat way. Is don't be romantic about business decisions.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really easy to get caught up in your ego about, I spent a year doing this, or this is my passion, blah blah blah. You just can't be romantic about decisions that you make, because they might be the wrong decisions, and your ego is the thing, and our pride is getting caught up in you making a different one that's more intelligent.
Okay, so how would you equate that, or how does that resonate into your personal life?
Well, I think it goes into ego and pride on a personal level, because on some level you're thinking, what are people going to think of me? That plays into it. It has to.
Well, no. I'm not saying business wise. I'm talking your personal life, because we talking about life lessons learned from business. So if you're telling me not to be romantic with my decisions, how would that help me, or that thought process, or that mentality help me in a relationship?
Well, okay, so that goes back into what we were talking about before, where you got to constantly assess where you're at and don't make those rash decisions.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about marriage, right?
Yeah.
I've been with my wife for 13 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That does not come without strife and struggle and good times and bad times, right?
Yeah.
Everything in between there. But I'm not romantic about the decisions I make in the moment.
Huh.
I'm thinking long term about what I want and my goals for our marriage, and that's a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm not romantic about some decision that I'm going to make in a heated moment. Because I'm not going to make that decision. So
you're telling me that you come up with a plan to progress your relationship, your marriage, your household. I call it the 7 P's. Okay, planning, right? perfect planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yeah.
You know?
Perfect plan. Yeah, that's a military thing.
Yeah. I got a lot of military quotes, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in a relationship, just trying to speak about that. No, sometimes people do move fast. You know, we actually talked about this on Sunday, and moving too fast, and which is contradictory to what we said earlier about speed. You know, you got to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
But or jump into something that sounds pretty cool, but is really not for you. You know, and that could be a relationship. You know this person is, and you see the red flags.
Yep.
But for some reason, because people will stay in a toxic relationship
forever. Yeah.
Just because they are afraid to be alone.
Yep. I think what we're kind of dancing around is the topic of self-identity and self-awareness. Like, if you know who you are and you know where you want to go.
Standards.
Yeah. Like, you are self-aware enough to know all those things. You weigh every decision against that narrative.
Uh-huh.
And then that narrative is what guides you through life, whether it's in business or relationships. And for me, it took me a long time. I think it was like that stereotypical like guy growing up age, like 27.
Yeah.
I think when I hit 27 was when I had that self-awareness moment where I'm like, okay, this I've seen kind of a mix of ways to live life.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be my North Star. This is how I'm going to live life. I don't need to be rich. It'd be nice, but it's not unnecessary. It'd be nice to have a great family. Like, I'm going for the family man type vibe.
Yeah.
But I'm also going for the entrepreneur vibe, which can contradict itself sometimes.
Yeah.
And so that's actually a constant struggle of mine. I'm so ambitious in business, but I'm also, I care so much about family, and that those two get mixed up quite a bit in my head.
Yeah. And, well, I'm going to bring it back to a relationship. This is an old school thing, you know?
Yeah.
And as you say, basically don't fall in love with something that, may not be exactly what you think it is. You got to really assess the situation.
Yep.
So you don't be too passionate, too emotional about something. That's like in a dating world. That's like being with a girl that has a, big booty, you know what I'm saying? Just like the song Poison, don't trust a big booty and a smile, right? and you like, man, I love her. Like, I love her. And you're thinking to yourself, like, what do you love about her again? Like,
she's features.
Yeah, she's lazy. She's
demanding.
She
don't clean up after herself.
Yeah, you can't trust her. But she got a big booty though.
And you really enjoy that.
Yeah, and you realize as you do a self-assessment, especially when the relationship is over, and you do a hindsight 2020, you realize you wasn't happy the whole time. You fell in love with the wrong things. You got too emotional.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the same thing that happened in business. Not everything that glitters is gold.
Yep.
And you have to understand, you set a standard exactly what you're looking for. You have to live and die by that. Because when you start settling, you're going to realize you're not happy in the long run.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, don't trust a big booty and a smile. but
there you go. Life lesson for today. If you don't take anything else.
Yeah. But I love big booties.
Don't trust a big booty and a smile.
And my girl, she got a nice little booty and
no
beautiful smile.
No one to hold them.
Yeah.
No one to hold them.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go into my third one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Association.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with supportive, successful people.
Okay, so what about if you've got friends who you went to college with or whatever, right? You went to school with.
Yeah.
You guys been homies since you were from grade school.
Yeah.
And he's a little lazy, a little less ambitious, kind of is the negative one in the relationship.
Yeah.
But you've been with him since the beginning.
For sure.
What do you do?
Well, you keep him at a distance. You use him for what he is, okay? I'm not going to let him dictate who I am. In other words, if I come up with an idea and he's like, man, I don't know, man, that seems kind of risky. You're going to be spending a lot of money and I don't know. I'm like, cool, bro. I'm not asking you for your advice. So if he's my homie, yeah, we go party, we go drink, we go watch fights, maybe even train together. But then we cut it there. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to cut you out of my life exactly.
Yeah.
But
you play less role in it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to let your negativity, okay, downgrade my ambition.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to surround myself with supportive people. That's one. Meaning people that believes in me. that's willing to watch me fail and don't judge me, and then watch me succeed and still support me and don't change, right? Also, I want people that's also successful because I need to learn from their success, their
I'm
journey.
glad you mentioned. I was going to mention that. I'm like, it's so important when you're looking to surround yourself with people that are within your association is to surround yourself with people who are better than you.
Yeah.
Now, there's an art to that though, because then the next follow-up question that most people have is, well, if they're better than me, why are they going to hang out with me?
Oh no, I mean, people shouldn't be your friend just because everybody in the same level. I mean, they could be driving a Mercedes Benz and I'm driving a Honda Accord. It doesn't mean they're better than me. You know what I mean? Like, and the truth is, they could actually be financially more successful than me. It doesn't mean they're more happy than I am.
They're probably they could even be a worse person than you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I like to be around successful people that have been through ups and downs, obstacles, and people that have learned to overcome that and know how to attain their dreams.
I think we kind of touched on it, but I want to put a stamp on it. If I could say anything in this podcast, it would be, don't follow people that you see as successful based on monetary value.
Okay, true.
I would say follow people who are successful based on a mindset, a positive, forward-thinking, always learning, like humble spirit, kind of mindset. Because monetary value can trick you.
Yeah, I mean that's like for instance, am I gonna follow Donald Trump or am I gonna follow Oprah Winfrey? And the reason why I say that is because Donald Trump was born with money. Mm-hmm. He was born with his family's been rich. He jumped into the family business. He went to the high level school. Like everything was relatively given to him. Mm-hmm. Okay, Oprah, she was raised in whatever city, but in poverty. Her parents didn't have much. Mm-hmm. She went through a lot of personal, horrendous obstacles, and she was able, as being a black woman in this country, she was able to overcome a lot of obstacles that usually are set aside for other types of people. Mm-hmm. Okay. And she became one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So who am I going to follow? They both are rich, but their story is a little different.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't really relate to Donald Trump. Okay. Because I wasn't given a few $1 million to start out with.
Nice.
Exactly. I can't.
But
I can't relate to that.
Yep.
But I can relate to being being in the projects, to being raised with roaches and rats, and having to go to the public school where teachers are being paid pennies and the education is low and the dropout rate is high. I can relate to that struggle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you there. So I didn't grow up in New York or anything, but I grew up here. And how long you been in the Springs?
Since 2000, on and off.
Okay, so Nevada, where University Village is, didn't used to be that.
Okay.
Yeah, do you remember what it used to be?
No, not really. I've actually never really spent time over there, even when I first got here.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, so before it turned into nice University Village and apartments and all that, there was the park there, and then there were some apartments there, and I think the apartments are still there. But that's where I grew up, was in those apartments. And back in the day, the only thing that lined Nevada at like Austin Bluffs were hole-in-the-wall bars and one-night stand motels.
Oh, yeah.
That was it, man. That's all you found there was just bars and one-night stand hotels.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of drug use. There was homeless all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining about that. I loved it. I thought it was a great growing up. You know, I didn't go into those places, but I mean, like me and my friends, we made it work with what we had. Yeah. But we didn't have money.
I mean, like it's all respective. Like your upbringing and your struggles is no worse than my upbringing and struggles because at the time as you was going through it, it was tough.
Yeah.
You know,
I was leading up to something there though. Like, do you think it's because of the way that we've grown up, not having a whole lot, that gives us an edge, like a chip on the shoulder to want to do better or do well?
For me, it does. I walk around with a chip on my shoulder every single day. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Sunset Creek, you got it, Rachel.
Oh, God.
Yeah, back in the day, that was a not so nice area of town.
And sometimes my chip that I carry, it could be a hindrance because I do get a little mad and frustrated at my upbringing and feel like that, I was cheated. Um, but it is also my motivation.
Mm-hmm.
It's my motivation in a couple of things. One, I don't want my kids to go through that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, I don't want to go back to that.
Mm.
Okay, so I do work as hard as I possibly can work. I'm not saying I'm always successful, and I'm saying I'm always making the perfect move. I do make mistakes. I do fail, but my drive is built around not going back to my old situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be broke. I don't want to go. I don't want to live check to check, or can't pay a bill. Or if my son asks for something, I gotta be like, oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna get that for him, especially if he actually needs it.
Yeah.
I don't want to live that life. So my upbringing does keep me motivated and it keeps me humble because I know if I BS a little bit, I could go back there very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do believe being around supportive people that's gonna have your back through the good and bad. Okay, through the good and bad, because everybody love you when you're winning. I know from fighting.
Yeah,
I go out there, I get a great win. Everybody's calling me. I'm getting sponsors. I'm getting other promotions. My friends hit me up. Congratulations. And when I lose, that phone don't ring.
Yeah.
Okay. It's only the
Was that weird for you, by the way? Did
nah.
you know it was coming?
No. I mean, it wasn't weird because I understood, the game. I'm not like a baby about the situation. I understood, people like to be around the winner. And the truth is, a lot of people don't even know what to say. If you come back with a bad loss, they're going to be like, better luck next time.
Yeah.
You keep trying.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you did a good job, although you got knocked out, but I mean, and people love to be positive. So when things are negative, they kind of stray away.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard for somebody to be positive, genuinely positive, not just hitting you with a cliche like better luck next time.
Yeah.
Genuinely positive in a negative situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I always said this, no matter win, lose, or draw in a fight, I know I was going to come home. I'm going to be daddy.
Mm-hmm.
My kids going to love me. My kids don't love me because I'm a fighter. They don't even care. And it's not even a thing to them.
That's actually pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
true.
seriously,
yeah.
I be walking around like people come up to me and ask for an autograph or a picture or like say, hey man, I saw you on the show. So awesome. Good job. My kids, like, they look at me like, what? They looking at the person asking for an autograph like he's just dad, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I'm really not that big of a person. I'm not like a LeBron James or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But like I have a little bit of like
you have clout within circles.
Yeah. But to them, it's nothing. Like they don't even brag to their friends.
They're like, that guy had morning breath today. You don't even know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. They don't even tell their friends. Like my dad fought in the UFC. They don't even brag to their friends. It's nothing to them. So
except for when your daughter brings a boyfriend around.
Oh yeah, no. She didn't tell him. My daughter did not tell her boyfriend who I was, and that I was a fighter.
That's hilarious.
I came to him and I kind of stepped to him and I was like, "Hey man, you know who I am?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Google my name. Google me right now." He's like, kind of looking at me. I'm like, "Google me." He looked me up, and I know it was a probably douchebag thing to do as a dad. But he looked me up and he looked at me like, I didn't know. I mean, he was mad at her. Like, you didn't tell me.
Hilarious.
But,
you ever been to prison?
yeah, exactly.
Bad Boys too?
Yeah. But the fact is that my kids are going to love me if I never fought or if I go out and fight.
Yeah. Okay.
So I knew going into that cage, win, lose, or draw, I'm still going to come home and going to be daddy. And I knew that the people that really love my homies, they're going to have my back. Mm-hmm. So having that type of support system, it kind of helps me deal with the fear of failing. Okay. Yep. So when I could accept the worst case scenario, then I'm able to compete with a free heart. Mm. And that makes my performance a lot better because I don't have that pressure. Like I got to perform or if I don't perform, everybody's going to hate me. Yeah. So associations, man, being around supportive people and being around successful people.
Yep. All right, my last is the importance of follow-up in everything.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, I'll give the business example first. How long are we at? What, 50 minutes?
50 minutes, yeah.
Gee, mini Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make this quick.
Yeah.
The importance of follow-up in business, because I see this all day, every day, and I see it in life in general. All these promises are made. People say things, and they promise they're going to do something, or they said they're going to do this or that, and then it doesn't happen.
Okay.
So the importance is being a person of character and integrity, that whatever you say you're going to do, you do it, and you follow through with it. But then after that, after the fact, you follow up. Like networking events, perfect thing. I was at a networking event today. I zeroed in on like 3 to 4 people that I really wanted to follow up with, and I said, hey, I'll follow up with you after this. I didn't leave it on them. I said, I'll follow up with you after this. And you know what? After that networking event, first thing I'm doing tomorrow is I'm going to follow up with those people to see if I can close business.
Yes. ABC, always be closing.
But I mean, you get all these opportunities in at bats, but if you don't do anything with them, or if you don't follow up on that opportunity, you're just going to miss out.
You're right, man, because I get people to hit my website and they will email me for information, and I have to follow up. I'm not going to lie, I probably lost a lot of business because the beginning of my career of running this business, this gym, I never used to do that. And it's not also following up is how you do it too. I used to maybe send out a text or an email. People want a phone call. They want to hear your voice. They want to hear your tone. They want to hear your emotion, your passion. And I used to be afraid to call. I get nervous. I would start stuttering, and I'm like, man, I don't want to make this phone call. Sometimes I'm busy, I'm lazy, whatever. And I didn't call, and those people never came in. And now that I called everybody, I got more people coming through the door, and I follow up, and I make sure that they contact me, and I follow up. I'm like, okay, because they could easily go to the website. They got the address on the website. They can just come to the gym. Why do I need to call you? I got all the information. I got cool videos. Thank you, by the way, for the videos. I got cool videos, cool pictures, schedule. Okay, just come in. No, man.
You want to hear the voice.
Yeah, people want to hear the voice, baby. Yeah.
Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah, they want to hear Chocolate Thunder, baby. Okay. So yeah. And then also, like, for instance, when I have a fighter fight, and if they win or lose, sometimes it's cool just to give them a phone call or whatever, or some type of communication to let them know, hey, man, good job. Thank you for representing the gym. And I love you. And no matter if it's win or loss, I love you. And, and just follow up with people, and people are like, you know what, man, coach really cares.
Yep.
And that's the point, because I remember, obviously, when I was fighting, and one of my coaches, you will follow up with me if I won or lost, even though sometimes I won, but I got beaten up and they hit me up like, man, are you doing okay? And I mean, no, I'm doing good. Thank you, man. Thank you for calling, or somebody sent a text or a message or whatever the case can be. So following up could help in so many different ways. You never know.
Yeah, you never know what's going to lead.
Yeah, you could bring some money in the door or just make somebody feel good about themselves. And both has a lot of value.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay.
Well, that's it. That's all I had, man.
Yeah, man. Man, that was a good one. So we talked a little bit today about life lessons learned from doing business. And it ranged in so many different facets, but just to wrap it all together, the lessons we learned from business, we use in our personal life, and they go back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's it, guys.
Oh, before you leave though, if you guys have any recommendations for what next week's topic should be about, hard work, bad decisions. So anything and everything's a topic. Leave it in the comment section, and we'll pick a winner for next week for sure. Yeah.
I want to thank Mac for coming in, do it again. I mean, this dynamic is growing. I love having you as a teammate. We ping pong very well.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till next week. So signing off, hard work, bad decisions, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about it. Oh, one more thing. Like, comment, share. Subscribe to the YouTube page. All right, guys.
All right.